If you have ever stared down a 15-mark UPSC ethics case study, you know the feeling. The clock is ticking away, you have pages left to write, and you are stuck trying to figure out where to begin. Grab a pen and some paper. We are going to write a top-scoring answer together, step by step, right now. This perfectly formatted exam sheet is our target. Examiners look for an answer broken into 4 distinct, organized sections that prove you can think like an administrator under pressure. Our challenge today is the Ramlal case, a 78-year-old man whose son has taken his house and his pension. The man is being exploited, but when help arrives, he begs the authorities not to press charges. Reading that, it is easy to let emotion take over, but emotion is difficult to sustain in a timed exam. To solve high-stakes ethical conflicts objectively, we will use a rigid, repeatable framework. Get your pen ready. Step 1 is the factual summary. Avoid the trap of rewriting the entire case prompt. We need to extract the core facts, not repeat the story the examiner already knows. Look at the prompt on the left. We highlight the core tensions, the son's actions, and the refusal of legal help. On the right, we write a 3-line summary. An elderly man faces economic exploitation, but refuses legal action. This creates a conflict between the victim's autonomy and the investigating officer's duty. Limiting this summary to 3 lines signals to the examiner that you possess administrative clarity and can separate the core problem from the noise. Step 2 requires us to identify the underlying moral friction. We will use a clean 2-column table to keep our reasoning visible. Our first row addresses the primary conflict. Ramlal has the right to make his own choices, his autonomy. However, the state has an instinct to intervene for his safety. This is paternalism, acting on behalf of a person's best interests, even against their stated wishes. Next, we map the emotional reality against the statute book. The victim's vulnerability requires compassion, but the Senior Citizens Act mandates specific legal procedures, the role of law. Finally, we note the social friction. There is a desire to keep the family unit intact, weighed against the necessity of institutional intervention to stop ongoing abuse. Using precise vocabulary like paternalism inside a structured table shows you understand the academic ethics behind the human tragedy. Step 3 is outlining the possible paths forward. We address all viable options here, including the flawed ones, to show we are weighing the situation objectively. Option 1 is strict legal action. This immediately stops the exploitation, but completely ignores Ramlal's wishes and shatters the family. Option 2 is do nothing. This respects Ramlal's immediate autonomy, but it represents a failure of your duty of care as an officer. Option 3 is the balanced approach. We provide counseling and tribunal support. This respects both his dignity and his wishes, though its results may take more time to realize. Write down option 3. This is the foundation for the final answer. Examiners grade your ability to remain objective and thoroughly interrogate the wrong choices before settling on a solution. Now for step 4. We write out the concrete administrative steps of option 3. We structure this sequence using clear transition words to show a logical progression. The sequence is specific. First, counsel both parties to build trust. Then, apply to the maintenance tribunal to secure his pension without a formal FIR. Finally, secure medical help through the health department. Practical steps are necessary, but for maximum marks, the action requires a philosophical anchor. We bring in Immanuel Kant's principle that human beings must be treated as an end in itself and never merely as a means to an end. We write our concluding sentence by applying this to Ramlalji. By prioritizing his wishes alongside his safety, we treat him with inherent dignity, rather than processing him as a bureaucratic case file. Bridging practical administrative logic with classical ethical theory demonstrates that you can navigate both the law and the philosophy behind it. Look at your notes. If your page follows this 4-step structure, you have successfully organized a complete 15-mark answer. This title card displays your next test, a mains practice question asking if elder care should be an active state responsibility rather than just a family duty. Tackle this new question using the same 4-step framework. Extract the facts, map the dilemmas, weigh the options, and anchor your conclusion. This structure remains consistent whether the crisis involves elder abuse or corporate corruption and whistleblowing. We will apply it to a new set of facts in the next session. See you then.